Thank you very much for joining us. As always, it is a pleasure. We now move over to the United States for our next story, and the US Supreme Court has refused to let US President Donald Trump send National Guard troops to the Chicago area as the Republican president expands the use of the military for domestic purposes in a growing number of Democratic-led jurisdictions. The justices let stand for now a judge's order blocking the deployment of hundreds of National Guard troops in a legal challenge brought by Illinois officials and local leaders. The U.S. Justice Department had sought to allow the deployment while the case proceeds. The order states that the president's authority to take federal control of National Guard troops likely only applies in exceptional circumstances. Following this, the White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson said in a statement that Trump promised the American people he would work tirelessly to enforce the immigration laws and protect federal personnel from rioters, and that, quote-unquote, nothing in the ruling detracts from the core agenda. Meanwhile, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker called the ruling an important step in curbing the Trump administration's consistent abuse of power and slowing Trump's march towards authoritarianism. Trump ordered troops to Chicago, the third largest U.S. city, and to Portland, Oregon, following his earlier deployments to Los Angeles, Memphis, and Washington, D.C. Okay, this of course follows Donald Trump's staunch immigration policy, where he has deployed National Guard troops to many Democratic-led cities. Of course, Los Angeles was the start, then it led to the U.S. capital of Washington, D.C., and Memphis and that of other cities have followed. Of course, this marks a rare loss at the U.S. courts for the Trump administration. The Supreme Court is a conservative leading institution now that Donald Trump has appointed several judges, which of course serve for life on the court, the highest court in the American land. And Donald Trump has had his claim and want for National Guard troops on the streets of Chicago rejected. Donald Trump's military use in Democratic areas has been assailed as power abuse during this campaign, and the judges have questioned the administration's portrayal of the protests going on currently in Chicago as violent. And Illinois and Chicago, of course, argue that these protests are indeed peaceful. And this marks a rare High Court decision defeat for the Trump administration. The justices have let stand for now judge's order blocking the deployment of hundreds of National Guard troops in a legal challenge brought by Illinois officials and local leaders. The crime rate in Chicago has, in fact, in many major crime categories, has been falling, although pockets, of course, still do exist in areas of the city. 28% of a crime rate, the crime rate has fallen by 28% in 2025, which is the lowest homicide count in the third largest city in the United States in a decade. Of course, we'll continue to bring you all the developments in regards to this story, a possible and inevitable Donald Trump response to this decision by the United States Supreme Court. At this preliminary stage, the government has failed to identify a source of authority that would allow the military to execute the laws in Illinois. This is what the court has said. We now move on to some more news coming out of